Almanzar?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, in that case, you can enter the plea.
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Bush, I would withdraw any heretofore pleas of not guilty, and under the second count in the indictment, Mr. Bush would plead guilty to assault in the third degree, and under the ninth count in the indictment, Mr. Bush would enter a plea to reckless endangerment in the second degree. Your Honor, I will also note that I know that people had indicated that he would face 6 months. I don't know if it's time to bring it up now, but he has been in jail, and we were going to count his time back for at least a couple of years because he's been incarcerated on these charges. No.
Do you know how much time he has in the New York system?
Your Honor, he has been in federal custody, and so a dollar bail was set on him, so it is at least over 2 years. I think it was 2019 when we indicated that we didn't want to take a lot of the federal system, but that it was that on the date of sentencing, you would credit him for the time that he had in the federal system.
All right, Ms. Richmond, on behalf of Jackson Morrell.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, Ms. Jackson Morrell withdraws her previously entered plea of not guilty and enters a plea of guilty to count 2, assault in the third degree, and to count 9, reckless endangerment. Upon the understanding that she will perform 15 days of community service, there will be a CD, and that will resolve this matter.
Okay,
Thank you.
on behalf of Ms. Almanzar.
Similarly, Ms. Almanzar withdraws her previous plea of not guilty and agrees to plead guilty to the second count of the indictment, assault in the third degree, and the ninth count, reckless endangerment, and accept a sentence of conditional discharge for 15 days of community service and the orders of protection that the court described.
So, in the same order, with respect to all defense counsel, do you each acknowledge receipt of all the discovery do you under Article 245 as of this point?
As to Mr. Bush, I acknowledge receipt of all necessary discovery.
The same as to Ms. Jackson Morrell. Thank you.
Second.
All right, these questions are now going to be directed to the defendant. I'm going to try to speak to you all at once, so I'll ask the general question, and I'll in turn for each of you in turn ask you to answer the question. Okay, I'll start with you, Mr. Bush. So your attorneys have all told me that you wish to now enter a plea of guilty to the charges of 8 misdemeanor offenses of assault in the third degree and reckless endangerment in the second degree in full satisfaction of the indictment before this court. Is that what you wish to do, Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Morrell, Ms. Almanzar? Do you answer?
Yes.
All right. You ordinarily have the right to appeal even after pleading guilty. If you cannot afford to pay for your appeal, the state will pay those costs for you. And if you cannot afford an appellate attorney, then will be provided for you free of cost. In this case, however, you have each agreed, according to your attorneys, to waive your right to appeal this plea and sentence as a condition of the plea agreement. So by doing so, you're giving up your right to have a higher appellate court consider most claims of error in these proceedings, including whether or not the sentence that you agree upon is excessive or should be modified. Even with this waiver, though, you still retain the right to file a piece of paper called a notice of appeal with this court and with the district attorney's office within 30 days from the date of your sentencing in this matter. If you do file that notice of appeal, only a limited number of claims of error will survive this waiver of appeal that you've agreed to today. And those surround issues such as your competency to stand trial, or your constitutional right to a speedy trial, or the voluntariness of this plea, or even the validity of this waiver of appeal, or the legality of the sentence that's imposed. Otherwise, though, this waiver of appeal means that your conviction by this plea and sentence will normally be final. Do you understand, Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Morrell? Ms. Almanzar? Have these waivers been fully explained to you by your attorney, Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you understand the right to waive it by signing the waiver of appeal?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Morrell?
Yes.
Have you signed the waiver of appeal?
Yes.
Are you receiving them now? each of the three defendants, I am holding in my hand a waiver of appeal, which I think each of you sign here in court before your attorneys. For the record, however, Mr. Bush, corner of the document entitled waiver of appeal. Ms. Jackson Morel, is this your signature on the lower right hand document? Okay, and Ms. Almazar, is that your signature? Okay. The court's now signed. I do find that after consultation with the attorneys, the defendants have knowingly and voluntarily waived their right to appeal these matters to a higher court.
Mr. Bush, raise your right hand, please. You swear to answer truthfully all questions that you give. Ms. Jackson Morel, raise your right hand, please. You swear to answer truthfully all questions that you give.
Yes.
Ms. Alonzo, raise your right hand. You swear to answer truthfully all questions that you give.
Mr. Renfro, do you have a mic over there?
See if you reach your honor.
You have to share that one?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you could just please, both of you, speak up as loud as possible, because we're having different here from that corner.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm going to ask you all a series of questions, and I'll ask you again to each answer in turn. So are you pleading guilty to the charges of assault in the third degree and reckless endangerment in the second degree because it's the truth? You are in fact guilty, Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Morel?
Yes.
Ms. Almazar?
Yes.
Have you had enough time to discuss this plea with your attorney, and are you satisfied with his or her representation of you, Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Jackson Morel? Ms. Almazar?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or threatened you to plead guilty in this case, Mr. Bush?
No.
Ms. Jackson Morel?
No.
Ms. Almazar?
No.
So you're doing so freely and voluntarily, is that correct, Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Morel? Ms. Almazar? Other than the promised sentence and conditions that we've just outlined for you, that is 15 days conditional discharge for 15 days community service for both Mrs. Jackson Morel and Mrs. Almazar, and 6 months in jail for you, Mr. Bush. Have any other promises been made in order to get you to plead guilty today?
No.
Ms. Jackson Morel? Ms. Almazar? Do you understand that your admission of guilt today will have the same effect, legal effect, as if you were convicted of these charges after a jury trial, Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Morel?
Yes.
Ms. Almazar? Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up certain constitutional rights? Those rights include your right to a jury trial, where the district attorney will be forced to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Your right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself. Your right to have your attorney question or cross-examine any witnesses who would come against you at a trial. Your right to testify on your own behalf, to offer defenses, and to present evidence in support of your defense. These are the rights you're waiving by pleading guilty today. Do you understand that, Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Morel? Ms. Almazar? If any of you are not United States citizens, your plea here could have negative immigration consequences, including deportation or denial of U.S. citizenship. Have you discussed those issues with your attorney, Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson Morel?
Yes.
Ms. Almazar? Knowing that, do you still wish to enter this plea of guilty, Mr. Bush?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right. The people are requiring a full allocution, and so with respect to the allocution, I'll defer to the people.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will begin with Defendant Bush. Mr. Bush, is it true that on or about August 14th, 2018, you communicated with unindicted co-conspirator Yannick Brespass, also known as Star Brim, and you were directed by her to arrange a physical attack on Rachel Watley on defendant Almanzar's behalf? Is it true that on or about August 14th, 2018, you spoke with defendant Almanzar and defendant Jackson Morel to arrange a physical attack on Rachel Watley. To advance the attack on August 15, 2018, is it true that at approximately 3:25 a.m. at Angel's Gentlemen's Club located at 32-17 College Point Boulevard in Queens County, you, acting in concert with defendant Almanzar, defendant Jackson Morel, and others, repeatedly struck Rachel Watley, an employee at said nightclub, pulled her hair, punched her in the head, and slammed her head into the bar countertop, causing Rachel Watley to sustain physical injury? And during the attack on August 15th, you recorded the attack on your phone and later sent that to defendant Almanzar. As to count number 9, Your Honor, on August 29th, 2018, at approximately 3:43 a.m. at Angel's Gentlemen's Club located at 32-17 College Point Boulevard in Queens County, you, acting in concert with defendant Jackson Morel and defendant Almanzar, threw alcohol and glass bottles at Sarah Watley, an employee of the nightclub, which created a substantial risk of serious physical injury to Sarah Watley. Your Honor, the allocution is satisfactory to the people as to defendant Bush.
Your plea is accepted.
May I be heard as to the allocution as to Tawana Jackson Morel? 2. Is it true that on or about August 14th, 2018, you exchanged direct messages on Instagram with defendant Almanzar, and she offered you $5,000 to physically attack Rachel Watley on defendant Almanzar's behalf?
Yes.
Is it true that on or about August 14th, 2018, you accepted defendant Almanzar's offer of $5,000 to physically attack Rachel Watley on defendant Almanzar's behalf?
Yes.
Is it true that on or about August 14th, 2018, you communicated with defendant Bush to arrange the physical attack on Rachel Watley?
Yes.
To advance the planned attack on August 15th at approximately 3:25 a.m. at Angel's Gentlemen's Club located at 32-17 College Point Boulevard in Queens County, you, acting in concert with defendant Almanzar, defendant Bush, and others, who repeatedly struck Rachel Watley in the head, who is an employee at the nightclub, pulled her hair, and slammed her head into the bar countertop, causing Rachel Watley to sustain physical injury.
Yes.
As to count number 9, is it true that on August 29, 2018, at approximately 3:43 a.m. at Angel's Gentlemen's Club located at 32-17 College Point Boulevard in Queens County, you, acting in concert with defendant Bush and defendant Almanzar, threw alcohol and glass bottles at Sarah Watley, an employee of the nightclub, which created a substantial risk of serious physical injury to Sarah Watley?
Yes.
Jackson Morel.
Your Honor, before we proceed with Ms. Almanzar's allocution, may I have a moment?
All right, well, Ms. Ms. Jackson Morel, your plea is accepted. I'll give you a moment to confirm.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. As to Ms. Police Almanzar, for count 2, is it true that on or about August 14th, 2018, you communicated with unindicted co-conspirator Yannick Respass and defendant Jeffrey Bush regarding a physical attack on Rachel Watley on your behalf?
Yes.
Is it true that on or about August 14th, 2018, you exchanged direct messages on Instagram with defendant Tawana Jackson Morel and offered her $5,000 to physically attack Rachel Watley on your behalf?
Yes.
To advance the attack on August 15th, 2018, is it true that you acted in concert with Defendant Bush, Defendant Jackson Morrell, and others who, at approximately 3:25 a.m. on August 15th at Angels Gentlemen's Club, located at 32-17 College Point Boulevard in Queens County, repeatedly struck Rachel Watley, an employee at said nightclub, pulled her hair, punched her in the head, and slammed her head into the bar countertop, causing Rachel Watley to sustain physical injury?
Yes.
As to count number 9, is it true that on August 29th, 2018, at approximately 3:43 a.m. at Angels Gentlemen's Club, located at 32-17 College Point Boulevard in Queens County, you, acting in concert with Defendant Bush and Defendant Jackson Morrell, threw alcohol and glass bottles in the direction of the bar, which created a substantial risk of serious physical injury to others present at the nightclub, including Sarah Watley, who is an employee of the nightclub?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the allocution is satisfactory to the people for Defendant Almanzar.
All right, Ms. Almanzar, your plea is accepted. At this point, are you seeking an adjournment for sentencing, or would you like to move to sentence today?
Move forward today, Ms. Almanzar.
Today is on behalf of, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Today on behalf of Ms. Jackson Morrell.
After Mr. Bush, we will receive the sentence.
With respect to Mr. Bush, Mr. Renfro, you waiving the INF?
I am, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I do have the orders of protection here to be signed by each of
Do the defendants have the orders of protection?
I have a copy here.
All right, I'll begin then with you, Mr. Bush. On your plea to assault in the 3rd degree and reckless endangerment in the 2nd degree, both Class A misdemeanors, the sentence as promised is 6 months jail, along with 2 full orders of protection in favor of Rachel Watley and Sarah Watley. I will explain that further in a moment. With respect to you, Ms. Jackson Morrell, on your plea to assault in the 3rd degree and reckless endangerment in the 2nd degree, both Class A misdemeanors, the sentence imposed as promised is a conditional discharge, conditioned on you having no new arrest for 1 year, and completing 15 days of community service through the Queens County District Attorney's Office, and obeying 2 full orders of protection in favor of Rachel Watley and Sarah Watley. I'll explain that in a moment. With respect to you, Ms. Almanzar, the sentence imposed as promised is a conditional discharge. It's conditioned on you having no new rearrest for 1 year, completing 15 days of community service through the Queens County District Attorney's Office, and obeying 2 full orders of protection in favor of Rachel Watley and Sarah Watley. These orders of protection means for each of you that you must stay completely away from both of these individuals for 3 years. You can have no contact anywhere near where they live, work, or attend school. That includes no contact by phone, text, email, social media posts, or any other means, either directly by you or indirectly by you to other people. Do you understand, Mr. Bush?
Yeah.
Ms. Almanzar? All right, and so with respect to Ms. Jackson Morrell and Ms. Almanzar, I've already informed you you have to complete the 15 days of community service. I'm advising you that your failure to successfully complete that 15 days of community service can result in you being resentenced on a violation of a conditional discharge to 15 days in jail. Do you understand, Ms. Jackson Morrell?
Yes.
Ms. Almanzar? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, there are also mandatory surcharges imposed, I believe $200 plus a $50 DNA fee. Mr. Bush, your DNA is on file. Ms. Jackson Morrell, Ms. Almanzar, you may not leave this court today until you provide the DNA samples. Do you understand? Do you understand? Yes? Okay, we need a date for proof of compliance for Ms. Jackson Morrell and Ms. Almanzar.
As long as council meets conclusion, it's fine with the people, Your Honor.
Any request? A date for compliance of the 15 days community service?
With respect to the community service, I'm going to be respectfully requesting maybe a date in the middle of January with the understanding that if in fact they successfully complete the community service in advance, we can always notify the court and possibly advance the case.
That's acceptable to us.
That is acceptable, Your Honor. And if I may ask on behalf of the defendants, if the community service is completed, that the counsel can simply provide the proof to the court.
I'm sorry?
Once the community service is completed, the counsel simply provide the proof to the court so that the defendants don't have to fear.
And that would be fine, in lieu of the parents upon compliance, that's fine. And with respect to Mr. Bush,
For Mr. Bush, may I just approach very briefly?
what was that?
For Mr. Bush, may I just approach very briefly?
Sure, and just for clarity, the record, his sentence was 6 months on each count concurrent.
Thank you. I just do want to put something on the record that has nothing to do with the case itself, but if I could just step up.
Before we, okay, come on. You want to? BRAWL and January 17th or before for proof of compliance and payment of the surcharge. And for Mr. Bush, payment of the surcharges by January 17th as well. If there's anything else that you need to state for the record? Anyone?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Nothing.
Nothing further, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Manis.
Thank you, Mr. Bush. Ms. Jackson, we're on. Yes, on that. Okay, gentlemen.
Good? Yep.